I think that perfect has always been defined by culture over the ages, and I don't know how it happens. And it usually starts with a model or an actress or one person that I think the media decides represents perfect for that day and age. And then we add on Photoshop on top of that, so you can take this perfect doll that we've created and then you can alter her even more. Just that idea of realizing how slippery that is, realizing who's setting it, who's setting the ideal, and just really being able to evaluate that is so important, because perfect is not even definable.
I grew up in England. I started modelling at 13. It was quite hard for me to feel like I could fit in, and I thought that there was something wrong with my body because it didn't conform to the industry standard. So I felt like the sample size was right and my body was wrong. So I basically ended up going into battle with my body, and that's a daily battle. Every time you look in the mirror, every time you see an image of a successful model or someone who you look up to who doesn't look like you think that you're not good enough.
When you're framing a framework for your life to show the world, you know, our natural tendency tends to be shame. So the things that we're ashamed about, we want to hide, you know, so we retouch the photo before we put it out into the world. And I think that that is not only self-deception, but it's become global corporate deception, where we're all deceiving each other, but we're all believing each other at the same time.
So when you see a fashion image, you have to look at really what it took to get that image. I'm sometimes in hair and makeup for 2 hours. Then there's the professionals that are the best at, lighting and camera angles, and you're posing, and everything is this perfected illusion to try and portray what was believed to be ideal.
There is a barrage of messaging about how we are in need of alteration. There's so many different standards presented to us. Now it's started to change, and I'm so grateful. I'm seeing glimmers of hope in different industries for that, and I'm hoping that we have had an impact on that for, doing that for the last 10 years, and just slowly and steadily just saying something different and saying, no, let's rethink this. Let's think about people actually being themselves, and how could that impact this huge rampant self-esteem problem. But that's how the idea of no retouching came out. In the beginning we were confused about it, and we had someone lightening the photos and working on it, and she was like, do you want me to take off this on this girl or do this? And so we immediately had a conversation about it. We just all agreed. We were like, okay, no retouching. Don't touch the woman at all. Why should we be touching her? Why should we be altering her? Because we're just disempowering her by doing that. I was sitting at the table and I looked around at everybody in the eye, and I was like, okay, I'm looking at every single one of you right now, and you all have at least one spot of acne on your face, including me, and we are all in our normal day-to-day. This isn't like a certain week of our lives, and we all have scars, we all have pores, we all have wrinkles right now in this moment, and it's not going to be different tomorrow. So if we're all like this right now, why shouldn't we leave women as they are in every moment? Because if we're adjusting moments, we're adjusting reality.